first final of event number 9. It'll be Mason Brooks who leads us to the green light. Alongside him, Colby Patterson. Then row 2, Austin Newstead and Austin Gibson. Then George House and Christian Kobe, they're on row 3.
On row 4, it's Joshua Cook, Ronnie Carter, alongside Henry Clark on row 5 and Mateo Garcia. Row 6 is Charlie Clough and Jonty Restrick.
Row 7, Lingan Lee and Harry Williams. And rounding out the 16 kart grid is Daniel Ferguson and Alfie Davidson. Dear, we've already got the 99 off. That's Christian Kobe. Head in hands. He's absolutely gutted about that one. Isn't even able to get to the green light for this final. It's never nice to see, particularly for these such young drivers, 8 to 12 years old in the Water Swift restricted class. As we were saying earlier, so much pressure going into a last championship dice, and particularly for drivers of this age.
Yeah, 100%. And it is tough when you get when you're out this early on, basically, and it does look...
Ronnie Carter looks to have come to a stop as well. Let's see if this gets underway. First time of asking. Yellow flags into the first corner. Makes me think we're going to see the chevron flag as well, as it is indeed Ronnie Carter, who's climbing up and out of his Fusion Motorsport kart.
Yeah.
A couple of drivers not making it to the green flag for this one, but the drivers will get one more lap to go around and warm up those tyres and get themselves in the right position for this race start.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like a quite big chunk of, well, something that looked along the lines of smoke. I don't like saying smoke because I don't know. But that was a really weird one. He just came up to the line and just went,
yeah,
like, that was it.
The cart just went, nope.
Yeah, just went, no, I don't want to race today.
I don't want to do this race, thank you very much. And yeah, sadly for those two drivers, Charlie Clough and Ronnie Carter, there you see Ronnie absolutely gutted, walking to the safety of a marshal stand to make sure he's out of the way when this race does get underway. But as we said earlier, there's nothing more gutting than having to watch the entire race that you're supposed to be in from the sidelines.
No, 100%. And they are just coming round now into the paddock bend. They're coming round, just being told to slow down as per usual.
Indeed.
And he apparently thinks someone really needs to slow down ahead of him.
Yes.
I don't know who that was, but they are off. And are we going to get racing this time round? That looks remarkably far ahead of the car in front of that. Is a go around. Yep.
Yes, yeah. Austin Newstead really dropped back into the middle of the pack there. Not quite sure exactly what happened. Maybe just didn't quite get the pickup. But either way, we're going round again for the third time of asking. This is what we saw in the Water Swift restricted for the pre-final anyway, so we're used to this now.
Yeah, I do wonder what's going to happen when they come back round and get told to slow down again. It will be interesting to see how they're told.
Indeed, yeah, there's going to be a lot of gesticulating from one of our Orange Army crew out on circuit, really making sure that they slow down. So, of course, get 3 opportunities to get it started correctly. This is their third time of asking. After that, they'll stop on the grid and have a little bit more of a stern talking to from our Orange Army out there on circuit. But it will still be Mason Brooks and Colby Patterson on the 84 and the 24 who lead us to the green flag here. Drivers closing up round through Sunny Bend, down into Paddock Bend. And look at this, definitely going a bit slower than they were on the last time of asking. Like you were pointing out there on the screen, the 24 of Colby Patterson just needs to make sure he's sat in there behind Mason Brooks. They're going to go 2 by 2 to the lights. Will we get it underway and racing? Yes, we will. Green lights go, and the 84 dives down the inside, squeezes Colby Patterson out to the curb on the left, and through goes Mason Brooks into the lead of the race. Still 2 by 2 as they head out through the S's down towards this first hairpin. Is anyone going to go for a cheeky move down the inside? 51 thinks about it, possibly a little bit of rubbing on the inside, but gets a little bump from behind and pushes him onto the exit.
So here we go down into the secondary chicane. It's a very interesting set of corners this. We've got a potential side-by-side. That was really wide.
That's Charlie Clough getting forced out wide there.
He did not have much room at all there. And is that a move potentially a little bit further up? Well, that's certainly a move further down. That's the number 21 of Lincoln Lee, I think.
Indeed, yep. The 44 of Harry Williams followed through as well. So a couple of positions lost on this lap then for Charlie Clough. That was cheeky, wasn't it? Down the inside, takes the lead of the race, does Colby Patterson. Brilliant move to the inside of the corner. Really confident under the brakes. Drops Mason Brooks into P2 as we cross the line to finish the first lap.
Absolutely. Mason Brooks currently just losing a little bit of time by the looks of Colby Patterson as he's starting to pull away a tiny bit. We'll see if that gets to be a bigger gap, but I don't think it will. Not at all. That's come right back down as they go round the first hairpin coming down the straight. That was a potential move in the background by the number 82. I will check if that was the case.
I think that was Henry Clark through on potential championship rival George House there. Drops him into 6th place. Indeed, opportunistic from Henry Clark, already up 4 spots in this final.
Absolutely, and that the Virtual Championship is changing a little bit as well, because that is very close, and we've actually had a switch around in position by the looks as it stands.
Indeed, and George House would have just lost another point as well, losing that position.
Yep, exactly. So currently, as it stands, according to the Virtual Championship, Brooks is currently jumped up into second, but that completely depends on how the race goes, and it completely depends on where they all finish. Because, as we said before, there's what, 2 points between those two, and then 1 point to fourth, as just to prove a point. Brooks is second on the Virtual Championship, Newstead third, and House has just been pushed down as fourth.
Indeed, yep. Newstead's made a couple of moves on that last lap. He's within this top pack in third place, and he's got your championship leader, Austin Gibson, right in behind him. He's on that GP plate that you can see on the Ollie Rowrah Motorsport car. Has changed to the lead once again. Mason Brooks back down the inside, takes it away from Colby Patterson. There's a great little scrap from these two, but Colby has got a great exit. Could he think about the re-overtake immediately? No, thinks better of it, but down the inside goes the GP plate of Austin Gibson. He takes third. Austin Newstead goes down to fourth.
That's a fantastic move from both of them there as well. He could have very easily gone other way, but they're all coming through towards the final corners now. And it's still neck and neck, to be fair. There's not much between them and about 6 or 7 cars behind them.
No, exactly. Move for the lead once again. Colby Patterson goes through. This is a brilliant scrap between the 24 and the 84. 2 changes on a single lap and more battling going on in the background.
Exactly. Currently still very, very close across the entirety of this field, which is just awesome to see. And there's a potential dive on the outside. That might leave the door open for a position to be taken from the GP plate, taking that from Mason Brooks. And that's potentially Mason Brooks just managing to stick in third place still. And that's potentially going to be a cutback again by Mason Brooks down the inside. And is the GP plate going to lose out just about? Yes, they are.
He's going to get steam trained
Austin
here.
Newstead
On the outside, just about slots in front of the 82 of Henry Clark. Gets himself back into fourth, wide for Brooks. Opens the opportunity for the GP plate of Austin Gibson. Can't quite side this way through, sits back once more, now under a bit of pressure from Henry Clark and George House. This battle doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon, but these 4 or 5 battling nose to tail is giving that opportunity to Colby Patterson to try and get away.
Absolutely, he's pulling away a tiny bit of a gap now, 0.8 of a second. Whoa, no!
That was a big one.
He's moving, that's good.
Hopefully he is up and out of the kart very shortly. Honestly, he's a racing driver. He might try and continue, but I think the marshals are going to tell him to stop. Yeah. It was the 21. Was that Lingen Lee who found the wall there?
It was.
Looks like he's continued. So fair play to Lingen Lee. We saw him get the fastest lap only a lap or so ago. As there's a little bit of rub in there down into the right-hander. George House thinks about a move. Alfie Davidson decides, though, I'm going to go up and under on yourself. Who's going to have it by the time they get to the apex, though? It is Alfie Davidson still on the inside, and trying to follow through is the 75 as well of Joshua Cook, and he does get it done. George House demoted 2 spots then through 2 corners.
Absolutely, and continuing to battle here. It's an absolutely brilliant side-by-side. George House just moving down as the timing updates. But currently, Colby Patterson is now under pressure, potentially, from Austin Newstead, coming round onto the start-finish line. Austin Newstead got a way better exit from that corner than Colby Patterson did, which will be interesting to see if he manages to make the move going down into the set of corners, just coming up onto the first chicane. Is he going to be side-by-side with Colby Patterson? I don't think so.
No, all stays as they were. I think, look how close they are nose to tail. Austin Newstead did take the fastest lap on the last lap and was immediately beaten by Mason Brooks. These two looking very fast, and what was a nice sizable gap for Colby Patterson only a few moments ago, now reduced to 0 once again. Looking to the inside as Austin Newstead is going to go for it. Late move back to the apex for Colby Patterson. Sees him hold on to it, but all of them nose to tail now. And Austin Gibson on the GP plate, your championship leader, back in the fight as well. Here it is down the inside. Late move to the inside once again for Austin Newstead. Opened himself up on a move from behind from Mason Brooks. No, and they make contact. Up and over the back goes Mason Brooks. He's going to lose a few positions from that one. Manages to rejoin in 5th place. Oh, that was super close between these two. Now under pressure from Alfie Davidson. These two teammates going side by side as we head towards the first corner. Mason's going to try and hold on to it, and does. Yeah,
there's a smart move to slot back in behind, I think, because there wouldn't have been much of a move up into the first corner. It's quite a difficult corner to go to anyway. So it's... yeah, that's one of the slightly more difficult things, but honestly, well played to Colby Patterson for managing to defend that hard in it's fairly early stage of the race. It's only been 6-ish minutes.
It was that sort of chop across the nose on Austin Newstead that then caused all that situation to happen, and it's given him a bit of breathing room again. So, yeah, fair play to Colby Patterson. Holds on to the lead, but again, these longer finals, 15 minutes in length, we still got just under 9 minutes to go in this one. And the drivers, we were saying earlier, a lot of time through the races, we were getting into a rhythm, seeing those gaps spread out. That's not happening here.
No, and I think Mateo Garcia is in the pits. I think he might have retired from the race, which is a shame. I just spotted his name going down. Just on top of the time he says in. So I think he's gone into the pits, sadly.
Gutted, yeah. The man from Mexico not going to be seeing the checkered flag in this one.
Lingen Lee is doing exceptionally well because he just, I think, jumped up above Jonty Restrick there.
He has, yeah. Jonty Restrick has dropped down a position to 13th. So Lingen Lee, despite that incident early on in this one, he did well to keep inside the kart. Now continues on the race. Here's a move for the lead, though. Austin Newstead goes up and under, but look at Austin Gibson go. It's Austin versus Austin, side by side. As we head down to the middle section of the circuit, they're all chopping across left, right, and centre. Who's down the inside? That's Colby Patterson. Reed takes second place. Austin Newstead back to third, but your championship leader, Austin Gibson, to the front of the field.
That's a fantastic, fantastic bit of driving from all of them there. Absolutely brilliant racing side by side for most of that, to be fair, for a lot of them. And Austin Gibson takes the lead of the race and has just pulled a little bit of a gap. I don't think it's going to last too long because Colby Patterson is very quick, and especially since he'll be leading a pack as they come across the line and up into the first corner. Very much, well, it remains to be seen just how fast Colby Patterson can catch back up, and it already looks like he's catching back up.
Yeah, indeed he does. Austin Newstead did have the fastest lap of the race. That now goes the way of Mason Brooks after that little incident earlier on. He's now right on the back of this pack once again in 6th place with a 53.92 as the fastest lap. He's sitting in behind Alfie Davidson. This is still very much a 6-way scrap for the win of this one, and it's only about half a second, then back to Joshua Cook, George House, Harry Williams, all going to get involved as well. There's some more jostling going on in the mid-pack as the 82 of Henry Clark losing out to Alfie Davidson.
Absolutely, I have just spotted the best laps of, I believe it's Alfie Davidson and Austin Gibson, exactly the same.
Identical.
54 seconds dead, straight on the point, just it's 0.00. It doesn't happen very often, but
very impressive, very consistent, even though there's such young racers out there in the Water Swift Restricted class. To remind you again, 8 to 12 years of age. Incredibly impressive. Another fastest lap of the race, this time going the way of Alfie Davidson. The entire top 6 are trading fastest laps at the moment. But it's who can get to the front of this pack by the end of the race. 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap still left to go. Colby Patterson was thinking about it there. There's Mason Brooks in the background getting it down the inside. Bit of rubbing, squeeze is the 82 to the apex curb, and Henry Clark is going to try and keep his nose in as they get down. However, they're approaching a right-hander. Mason Brooks has the inside. Mason Brooks has the position.
And that's exactly what you love to see as well. Good clean racing from them. And you even saw him look to the right to see exactly where he was going into the corner. So they're absolutely just... they're pushing right to the edge, but they know exactly where everyone else is, and it's absolutely fantastic to watch. And I think this battle is probably going to get very, very feisty very, very quickly because they're all nose to tail at this point. Gee, just straight up Austin Gibson, Colby Patterson, Austin Newstead, Alfie Davidson. So, so close. And this is going to get interesting.
It's impressive. The ability for the drivers to know exactly where the other drivers are, even when they're not looking at them, when they're just behind them. You have that sort of feeling as a racing driver. You know sort of where the other driver's going to be placing their car, and watching them be so respectful. There's been very little touching throughout this battle. And the racing has been fantastic. And it's going to continue for another 5.5 minutes. So don't go anywhere, folks.
Exactly. We're just seeing it coming down now. So that might be potential. The thing is, the two in the lead are both teammates.
Indeed,
So at the end of the day, they're trying to hold off half the field behind them, but at some point, when does it become sort of difficult to hold the field off, and when do you sort of realise, well, now we're just battling each other and we're slowing each other down? So.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest. Of course, as you say, Colby Patterson is an Oliver Rowland Motorsport teammate of Austin Gibson. However, you think Austin Gibson might be a little bit easier to pass today than other times because he doesn't want to get knocked off. He doesn't want to finish last in this race. As long as he's involved in a decent position, he's totally fine. He does not need to win the race to take the championship here. He's a good 33 points ahead at the moment in the championship, so he just needs to get a solid finish here and keep it on the road. That's all that matters for Austin Gibson, but equally, you'd love to win the race as your final race in the championship, and he's going for it. He's doing just that at the moment. Continuing to follow line astern are these top 6. A little bit of a gap now to Joshua Cook in 7th. However, he is trying his best to close in. He's still very much within the same camera shot.
Absolutely, and so it seems about 6 other drivers all wanting a piece of the pie, and they will want to try and get up to the front. But the problem is you then got to push your way, especially if you're the 6th car in the trade. You've got to push your way all through all the others, and they're just not going to let you do it. It's not going to be easy, which, to be fair, makes it very interesting. So that's a positive.
Not at all. And as we were mentioning earlier as well, there was a little bit of pitter-patter during lunch, but not much. All the drivers very much on these slick tyres, but you can still see there, do the first corner, the big wet patch on the inside of the circuit. To go for those moves, moving off of the racing line is still very, very challenging to hold on to the grip and get those moves done and dusted. As there's a bit of rubbing on the exit there, Austin Newstead and the 46 of Alfie Davidson. Davidson gets through. Mason Brooks slips through as well. Down the inside goes Henry Clark. That's the most Austin Newstead all the way from 3rd to 6th place, but he's got a good exit. They're going to be pushing each other down towards this right-hander at the bottom as they head into the Stuart S's. Here go the front two, though. This is their chance to break away.
And they are certainly doing so, and I definitely think they're working together to try and just push each other further.
They definitely are now.
Austin Gibson will want to win this, and there's a move potentially. Whoa, that's taking a lot of curb.
Newstead just stuck his nose in, didn't he, there? Hoped it would open up, but it just didn't quite. Sits behind Henry Clark once again, but Mason Brooks has leapfrogged all of those three. Back up to 3rd place he goes, back up to where he was earlier on in this race. And he is now full eyes ahead. 75 there. Joshua Cook tries to go alongside to the first couple of corners. It's a scary one at the best of times with those first couple of corners, and he backs out of it as helps with my nervous disposition. However, back down the inside he goes, and through follows Harry Williams as well.
Absolutely, the gap is just increasing, and there's a move on the 44. Harry Williams on Henry Clark. They're still side by side, and they're 3 wide. 75 just out of nowhere.
Fantastically read there from Joshua Cook to retake them both after being overtaken over the last couple of corners. Here comes George House, back down the inside of both of them. Nearly a bit of tyre rubbing for the 44 and the 82 there, but Harry Williams and Henry Clark giving each other lots of room. And here we look back to the leaders.
Absolutely, and as we've been seeing, it's just close racing, but no one's giving an inch, but simultaneously no one is just bumping wheels at all. It's all really, really clean. And it's just been absolutely enjoyable as anything to watch this race. It's been fantastic.
It has been fantastic. Spotting us again, Lingham Lee takes another position up to 11th place. Through on Daniel Ferguson. Impressive for him to come back through after that earlier incident. Glad to see that he seems to be all okay. At least okay enough to do some pretty decent lap times and gain a few positions back. So that's fantastic. Austin Gibson, though, your GP plate, still holding onto the lead here. Himself and Colby Patton doing a great job of working together. You can see here, Colby, no efforts to move to the inside, no effort to take the position. He doesn't want to do that just yet. They've still got a minute and a half, and they've only got just over a second back to Mason Brooks and the rest of that pack, which they were involved with only a few laps ago. Still time to wait. However, obviously Colby is still going to want the win here. I think he'll wait until around maybe 30 or 40 seconds to go on the clock to start thinking about a battle. Yeah,
and I did just spot a change of the timing. Austin Newstead in 3rd position now. I think they may have switched around a couple of times there.
They have.
And Mason Brooks in 4th, and it's still incredibly close between the groups of cars behind the leaders, but 74 and 84 of Austin Newstead and Mason Brooks are just so close together and just trying their absolute hardest to, well, stick with each other, but also not lose each other, and that's the hard bit. Losing each other is bad. There was a move in the background as well there, I think, from Joshua Cook, but I couldn't quite tell.
Indeed, yep. These two have been incredibly quick, though, in that group. 53.76 for Mason Brook, fastest lap of the race. 53.77 for Austin Newstead. And just behind, Alfie Davidson at 53.79. He's up 11 spots as well in this final, Alfie Davidson, up from 16th to 5th place. Impressive stuff. Was that a move there on George House? Henry Clark, I think, went back through. Nice little opportunistic move there down the inside. Mason Brooks, though, seems to be under a bit of pressure here from Alfie Davidson. Alfie Davidson looking to take more spots and does just that. Into Paddock Bend, up the inside, shows him a bit of wing on the exit. Through he goes to 4th place.
Absolutely, and it does look like the gap is staying around the same to the leaders as well. We're currently on this group behind. It's all fairly close. Coming through the chicane is definitely close, but as it stands for the leaders, Austin Gibson, Colby Patterson, there's actually a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, this is the biggest the gap's been, I think, all race.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what that is. It may just be Colby Patterson's fallen back a little bit, just on purpose or unintentional, who knows.
Maybe just a slight mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Dropped him a kart length or so off the back of Austin Gibson. Austin Gibson checks over his shoulders. They head down the back straight. And here we look back to the battle. I think that's Joshua Cook leading at the front of this one. There's the 44 of Harry Williams in behind, and the 75 of Joshua Cook. So actually Harry Williams has got past into 7th place. And it's Henry Clark who's leading that gaggle of 4. The timer has ticked to 0. We're hearing reports of a bit of light rain. Shouldn't affect this race too much, but we'll have to wait and see for our Water Swift unrestricted next time around. Austin Gibson on the GP plate starts the final lap then, and he has only got just over a kilometre to bring home not only this race win, but the Water Swift Restricted Championship for 2023.
And they is not going to be made easy by Colby Patterson, because at this point they may be teammates, but at the end of the day he wants to try and make the move. There's the live championship. Austin Newstead up in 2nd, but 3rd and 4th. That is so close. George House needs to gain 2 points back basically to be in the lead of that, but potential move around the outside from Colby Patterson. He might try and get the cut back, but not quite, because that goes into the chicane. But we're coming down towards the end of the lap, and it's either going to be a last-ditch attempt or he's just going to sit there and let his teammate. But behind Austin Newstead is not far, and there's the move
by side for the lead.
That was really nice and clean, but the GP plate's going to come back through, and that's going to give the move for Austin Newstead to take the lead of the race coming into the final corner.
What a move from Austin Newstead. Unbelievable. He's going to take the win in the Water Swift Restricted Final, but your champion for 2023 will still be Austin Gibson. What a fantastic end to the race. Austin Gibson just trying to fend off from Colby Patterson, forces Colby wide, and opportunistic as ever from Austin Newstead. Up and under he goes, takes the win. What an end to the race.
That's one hell of a way to finish it, that's for certain, because at the end of the day, that's the danger of battling as teammates, especially when you're slightly ahead. And yeah, that's just how it works. But here are the results for the Water Swift Restricted Final.
Oh dear, well it seems we've lost audio there from Ailey down in the pits. Hopefully we'll be able to hear from our top three very shortly, but we were just having a little chat off camera about how awesome that was anyway. So what a brilliant win from Austin Newstead. And you pointed out as well the fact that Colby Patterson, he was the one that just got slightly chucked wide by Austin Gibson through Sunny Bend. Actually, he ended up dropping to 5th after that one. Didn't even make it onto the podium.
No, and I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but yeah. Okay, on that front, we'll hand back down to the pit lane.
All right, we are here in Park Ferme after the Water Swift Restricted Final, and I'm here with my race winner, Austin Newstead. Austin, how are you feeling after that win?
So happy. Obviously, Gibson and Patterson got a massive gap, but I just managed to get through Brooks, and I I just managed to hold it where I was, and then they started fighting at the front. I just managed to catch up, and then in the second to last corner, I just managed to do them both.
Talk a little bit about that last lap move. Was it a bit scary going for that one? You really went for it, but are you feeling confident?
I was feeling quite confident. Obviously, I didn't think I could win it on the last lap, but then I just started fighting, and then they just both ran wide, and I managed to get up the inside.
Amazing. And you said before you were crying, you were so happy. I'm assuming this is a very good way to top up the season. Looking back on the rest of your season, you say this is your highlight, or is there any other that stand out to you?
I'm not sure. This is definitely one of my favourites. It's either my favourite or my second favourite. Currently, my favourite is Shennington.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our P3, we've got Alfie Davidson. Alfie, tell me how you ended up on the podium after that race, starting quite far back, but you ended up on P3.
Yeah, so what happened is, I thought they all battled on the second to last corner, and they all Newstoke went down the inside, and then Austin followed him, and then Colby went all the way up the bank. So I got through and just got third from the race. So I'm very happy with my team and everyone who's helped me on this way, because I wouldn't have done it without my mum and my dad and my mechanic for mechanicking me. Thanks to him.
Amazing. Congratulations on the P3.
Thank you.
All right, now we have our race winner. How was that?
Really good. Yeah.
Sorry, not race winner, championship winner, P2 in the race.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I won the #1 plate. It was really hard this season. Yeah.
And on that race there was a lot of battling for the lead. How were you able to stay with that front pack and stay clear of any trouble in the last lap?
I knew they were down a battle, so I just needed to stay with them and not fall back even more. So, yeah, I just did, and yeah.
Perfect. And we've got Dan Parker here to present you with your championship plate. Right, congratulations to Austin Gibson. Well done.
Thank you.
And welcome to the podium for our first category in the iArmy. It's the Water Swift Restricted. So we'll start off with third place on the podium. Up 13 spots in the final. Number 46 for Fusion Motorsport, it's Alfie Davidson. Gets his hat on and gets his trophy ready. Second place on the podium, your GP plate. It's Oliver Rowland Motorsport driver Austin Gibson. And then your winner in Water Swift Restricted for event number 9, the number 74 BMR driver of Austin Newstead. Now, I will say apologies to the BMR team and Austin Newstead. I totally forgot. I've got to bring his mechanic up here as well. Please welcome Marvellous Marv.
Austin, you're hiding behind the fence or open base. Put your trophy to one side. Good. I'll do your first,
Lovely, well done guys. Can we have another round of applause for our Water Swift Restricted podium?